Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly Stevens. I'm the author of the Tandem Academy series, and this is English Nerd. All right, well, welcome back. As I make this video, it is December 2021, so it is the Christmas season. Almost. We are almost to Christmas break if you are in high school or college or what have you. So I know that I'm in the throes of doing a lot of work, a lot of grading, and I assume that you are probably finishing up some last minute projects. And so I wanted to share with you the difference between active and passive voice. There's a lot of misinformation about active and passive voice if you just search on Google. And the difference matters because if you write more in active voice, then your writing sounds more streamlined, it's more concise, it moves and flows more clearly than if you were to use a lot of passive voice. And many people do use passive voice, certainly in their first drafts. And so here is the difference between the two and how you can take passive voice and switch it to active voice. It's actually not that difficult. So essentially, active voice is when the grammatical subject is doing an action. It's not just being something, it's doing something. And so it's something like the child discovered a flower. The child is the subject, discovered is the verb, and so the subject is doing the action they're discovering, right? Passive voice is when the subject is being acted upon. So in that same scenario, the rock was discovered by the child, still gives you the same information, but it's wordier and it's passive. The rock in that example is the grammatical subject and it's not doing anything, it's being acted upon. Now, the way that you can identify this in your own writing is by the construction of the verb. Bear with me here. So a passive verb is going to be a form of to be. So is, was, were, am, are, has been, any form of the verb to be, plus a past participle. So was discovered, is shown, am, oh no, I should have planned different verbs, has been crashed, that kind of thing. So it's the to be verb plus that past participle. In order to change a passive construction into an active one, it's really very simple. All you need to do is figure out who or what is actually doing the action and then flip the sentence around so that that is the subject now. So instead of saying something like mistakes were made to be plus the past form of the verb, that's passive. Mistakes were made by whom? Is it this politician? So the politician made mistakes. That is in the active voice because the subject of the sentence is doing the action. So there is, as I've mentioned, some misinformation about passive voice out there. People will say things like, anytime you have a to be verb, it's in the passive voice, and that's just not true. Now, it might not be the strongest way to write. In fact, it probably isn't if you overuse to be verbs, but something like is running or am speaking would not be passive. It might be a little wordy, but technically that is the progressive form of a verb. It's just present tense in action or past tense in action. It's still the subject that's doing the action in a slightly wordier way. I know that progressive verbs have been a weakness of mine. Certainly I've had to edit a lot of them out of my books before they're ready to go, but that is not passive. Passive is just when the subject is being acted upon, is being passive itself. There are times when it's not a bad idea to use passive voice when you don't know who the actor of that action is, for example, or if you want to emphasize just how passive something or someone is in a scenario, then you can use passive voice, but almost always you want to avoid it and weed it out of your writing. So hopefully this was helpful for you as you are preparing for midterms or finishing up those writing projects. This goes not only for academic writing, but for creative writing as well. All right, so don't forget to like this video and subscribe, hit the notification button, and definitely check out the 10 UN Academy series. And I have a Christmas series as well, the short and sweet Christmas romances under Anne Harrison, if you want a nice, short, Christmassy read. Okay, that's it. Until next time, early Merry Christmas, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.